Class 6 English Supplementary Reader. Lesson A Tale of Two Birds. Part 1 The Storyline. A mother bird and her two young ones lived in a forest. The mother was killed in a storm, and the young birds were separated from each other. Each found a different home.
There once lived a bird and her two newborn babies in a forest. They had a nest in a tall, shady tree, and there the mother bird took care of her little ones day and night. One day there was a big storm. There was thunder, lightning, and rain, and the wind blew down many trees. The tall tree in which the birds lived also came down. A big heavy branch hit the nest and killed the bird. Fortunately for the baby birds, the strong wind blew them away to the other side of the forest. One of them came down near a cave where a gang of robbers lived. The other landed outside a rishi's ashram, a little distance away. Days passed and the baby birds became big birds. One day the king of the country came to the forest to hunt. He saw a deer and rode after it. It ran deep into the forest followed by the king. Soon the king lost his way and didn't know where he was. He rode on for a long time till he came to the other side of the forest. Very tired by now, he got off his horse and sat down under a tree that stood near a cave. Suddenly he heard a voice cry out, "Quick, hurry up, there is someone under the tree. Come and take his jewels and his horse. Hurry, or else he will slip away." The king was amazed. He looked up and saw a big brown bird on the tree under which he was sitting. He also heard faint noises issuing from the cave. He quickly got onto his horse and rode away as fast as he could.
Part 2 Storyline. The king was amazed to hear a similar voice again. He came to know the bird's true story. He met the rishi who explained the behavior of each bird.
Soon he came to a clearing which looked like an ashram. It was the rishi's ashram. The king tied his horse to a tree and sat down in its shade. Suddenly he heard a gentle voice announce, "Welcome to the ashram, sir. Please go inside and rest. The rishi will be back soon. There is some cold water in the pot. Please make yourself comfortable." The king looked up and saw a big brown bird in the tree. He was amazed. "This one looks like the other bird outside the cave." He said to him loudly, "You are right, sir," answered the bird. "He is my brother, but he has made friends with robbers. He now talks as they do. He doesn't talk to me anymore. Just then the rishi entered the ashram. Welcome, sir, he said to the king. Please come inside and make yourself at home. You look tired. Rest for a while, then you can share my food. The king told the rishi the story of two birds and how each had behaved so differently, though they looked so alike. The forest is full of surprises, he said. The holy man smiled and said, after all, one is known by the company one keeps. The bird has always heard the talk of robbers. He imitates them and talks about robbing people. This one has repeated what he has always heard. He welcomes people to the ashram. Now, come inside and rest. I'll tell you more about this place and these birds.
Working with words. Students, in this activity, you will frame a meaningful sentence after unjumbling the below mentioned group of letters into meaningful word. 1. MORTS. You have to unjumble it into a meaningful word. Think over it, go back to the story, you will find it, it is there. And I can give you a hint. This word means something the nature shows us when there is thunder, lightning, trees uprooted. You guessed what? I know you can do it. So get the right word and frame a sentence. 2. ERSFTO. This is another word. You have to find it out from the text. This word gives the hint of animals. Got the word, students? Well, please write the sentence if you have got the word. 3. HSDYA. Now this is a word which makes us feel good, like it is related to tree. Okay, got it? So write the word and also its sentence. RHMASA. This is number 4. RHMASA. I think you have already guessed it. It's related to the rishi. So don't delay. Think of a sentence and write it out. Next, 5. AERSH. This word is very important in our life because this is a good quality. This is a good action. So you have to think over it and to write a meaningful sentence. Now we will do some valuable vocabulary. We will learn the meaning of the words, pronunciation, and also how to frame it into a sentence. 1. Fortunately. 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 Repeat after me. Fortunately. For. R is silent. R sound is silent. Fortunately. It means something happening because of good luck. Example, I had to reach exam hall on time. Fortunately, there wasn't much traffic on the road. 2. Gang. We pronounce this word as gang. G-A-N-G. The last letter, G, should not be pronounced as G. Gang. No. It's just like sang. We don't pronounce sang. We say sang. Here also, we have to say gang. Right? It means a group of young people who spend time together, usually fighting with other groups and behaving badly. For example, the police chased the gang of robbers. 3. Amazed. It is spelled as A-M-A-Z-E-D. Z-E-D, right? So let's see the pronunciation. Listen to the pronunciation. Amazed. Z, Z. It is not J, J. It is not amazed. It is amazed. Okay. Repeat after me. Amazed. Good enough. You are well. Students, see the meaning? Extremely surprised. For example, I was amazed to see so many students online. 4. Faint. F-A-I-N-T. Repeat after me. Faint. Good. Slight and not easy to notice. Smell, hear, etc. Example, I felt a faint smell of smoke. 5. Issuing. It is spelled as I S S U I N G. It is pronounced as issuing. Sh, not s. It is not issuing because S is there. No. SS is producing the sound. The phonic sound is sh, sh, just like share, sh. Issuing. Repeat after me. Issuing. Good. Something flowing out means something coming out. For example, a strong stream was issuing out of the forest. You can think of your own sentences also. 6. Clearing. C L E A R I N G. Clearing. Repeat after me. Clearing. That's good. It means an area of land cleared of wood and brush. Example, after crossing the dense forest, we arrived at a clearing and rested. So, dear students, we move on to the next activity. Let's discuss what is the moral of the story. Now, before we talk about it, I would like to know from you what you mean by a moral. Of course, after reading the story, you will know the meaning of moral. It means something which has got a principle, which has got the right and wrong aspect of it. Our actions, it can be morally correct or morally incorrect, right? So in this whole story, there is a message, there is a moral. a moral for living a righteous life, right? Two birds were given and shown as an example who was morally correct and who was morally incorrect. So you have to write about the story of the two birds and what we learn from them, that how we should live our life, what kind of friends we should make, what kind of company we should live in. Right, students? So you will write this answer. Explain the proverb, one is known by the company one keeps. Do you know what is a proverb? I think you can guess. Proverb. It has nothing to do with verbs, words of actions. No, not at all. A proverb is an old saying, a popular saying, which has got a, a deeper meaning. It's not just a literal meaning. So when one says one is known by the company one keeps means one's character is judged by their friends, what kind of people they are going around, right? If you are going around with good people, people will judge you to be intelligent, people will judge you to be virtuous, and if it is opposite, then people will definitely judge you wrong. Right, students? 3. Distinguish between the character traits of the ashram's birds and the robber's bird. As you know from the story, ashram bird, so how he behaved, very politely, calmly, right? He was soft spoken. And the robber's bird was opposite. He was cruel, he was rash. And why he was like that? It was quite understandable. And the rishi distinguished means differentiated. What was the reason behind it? And the reason was same. Although they were brothers, but since they were born and brought up in a different places, the companies were different, friends were different, people were different, their habits changed, their character changed. Right, students? Question Q. Students, now we will discuss the following questions. 1. How did the two baby birds get separated? To answer the question, you have to remember the story. You have to get back to the text. In the story, you have to focus on that particular night, the stormy night. What happened? Think over it. The mother bird died. And how the two baby birds get separated? So you have to write about that particular episode. What happened that night? 2. Where did each of them find a home? Just like question number 1, in this question also you have to link it. Just after the storm, what happened and how they got separated and where they landed. One landed at a robber's cave and another at the rishi's ashram. So this is your answer. Where did each of them find a home? So you have to write two different places where they landed. Right, students? Let's move on to question number 3. What did the first bird say to the stranger? If you remember the story, you will find out that the stranger was the king and he was hunting. And while hunting, he got tired and he ran deep into the forest and lost his way. And while he was just resting, He was startled by a voice. That was the first bird. Remember what he said. Quick, hurry, take away his jewels and horse, right? So the first bird said all these things, and you have to write in your paragraph. Do not copy the same lines from the text. You have to write it in a reported speech. Okay, friends? Well, let's move on to question number 4. What did the second bird say to him? Now, after the episode in the jungle, in the forest, remember, recollect, where did the king go? Of course, he reached a clearing and he found a rishi's ashram. And there also he encountered a bird, the second bird. And he was quite amazed because the second bird was completely different from the first one. And what did he say? Welcomed the king, asked him to get some cold water, rest till the rishi arrives. Right, friends? So you have to write all these points to make your answer. So I know you can write it well, so try writing it. Next, number 5. What explanations did the rishi give for the difference in behavior of the two birds? The rishi, when he met the king, he told about the story of the two birds and also explained that why the two birds, in spite of the fact that they were siblings, they were brothers, they were so different. Their character, their habit, their way of speaking was so different. I guess you will understand why this happened. One at the robber's place and another at the rishi's ashram. So we come to understand this fact that our environment, our friends, the people we go around definitely cast a deep impression on our mind, our habits, our daily social behavior. So students, you can judge that whose behavior was desirable and whose behavior was undesirable, unsocial. So you have to write about rishis, explanations in your own words. Right, friends? So what's the delay? Take a pen and a notebook and write on. So that's the end of the story and the activities. Students, I hope you like this video lesson. And do not forget to read more and more stories like this. Read the story, listen, spot the words, think of making it into a sentence, try to understand the deep moral message. Please do not forget to subscribe and like. I will come up with more English video lessons. Till then, thank you.